Hello folks, welcome into the live stream. I'm sorry, I know I'm like 45 minutes late. I tried to change the settings to notify you guys of that, but I just well, yeah, I like 5 minutes before my live stream, I looked at my phone and it had like 3% battery. I realized I forgot to charge it, so I had to go plug it in, and I think it's like 50-some% battery now. And I'm so sorry I'm late. I know it's like close to an hour after the time I set it for, but hopefully you guys weren't waiting in there. But hopefully you're joining if you're available. I would love to see some of you guys in there, and we always have a great time. I always say that, but it's always true. And I really always enjoy doing live streams, and you guys make it fun, as I always say. You really do. So I really appreciate all you guys who join in there. And yeah, I love live streaming. It's a lot of fun. And you know, it's like a select group of people that we all share the same passion of palms and exotic plants. And speaking of which, my palms are all doing very well. My eucalyptus, not so much. They've suffered a little bit in, obviously not a drought, but just, I mean, we've been getting plenty of rain, I think, but it's been a little dry lately. And I've been gone so much that I haven't watered my eucalyptus very much. My stellulata here from NJ Palms is doing really well. This one, again, look a little bit dry, but it's doing pretty well. It's leaning over a little bit. And then this one's over here. This Cinerea is pretty dried out. My one in the front is doing a lot better. I watered him yesterday, but I'll go give you guys a little tour of my eucalyptus. Will, hey, great to see you in there, Will. I was talking to you on Discord. Appreciate you creating the Palms server. That's pretty awesome. It's going really well. How are you doing, by the way? Your garden looks amazing. I've been watching some of your videos, and your garden looks incredible, Will. I can't believe that. It's probably one of the most exotic gardens in Austria, and I bet there are some nice palms in Austria, but I think you've got the most exotic garden maybe in the country. That's pretty incredible, Will. Yeah, but I'm doing well. Temperature, I think it was like 86 earlier. It's pretty sticky out. It's like really humid. I don't know how humid is it, Will, where you are? I'm guessing it's not as humid. I'm guessing it's like a little bit humid, but not as humid as DC, because DC is like the humidity capital of the world. No, it's not. It's humid. It's most humid, probably like almost the most humid place in the world probably is like the Gulf Coast, like Florida and the Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Texas, Houston, all that area. I don't know, but it's really humid down there. But all the way up even into southern Canada, it gets really humid in the summer. So it's very humid here, but thankfully not too hot out today. I think like in the 80s, mid 80s, maybe upper 80s. Sure are some hidden exotic enthusiasts. Exactly. Oh, wow. I don't know about even more amazing. By the way, I can't believe I just noticed this. I've had this sable miner for many months, and I guess this must have been there the whole time. I thought it only had these two-pronged fronds, but it actually has a full split three frond. You can see it suffered a little bit. It's just been a little dry. I think they got this little root thing here. My other sable miner has that as well, this right here. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. You can see the cicadas. I haven't really seen any, but there's still like a couple corpses around from the cicadas. Our region is quite dry. It's like semi-arid, I guess, probably. Oh, excuse me. Really driest region of Austria. Well, hey, I like that. That makes it easier for growing palms, because where you are, you know, the dry winters, I'm sure, help with like Camerops and other species, Washingtonia maybe. I don't know. It's definitely warmer. You're definitely a warmer zone than where I am, I believe. Or at least similar. I think you're a little warmer. But yeah, everything's doing well. My eucalyptus, which I was showing people, my stellulata, I'm not proud of some other eucalyptus. This one's doing all right. This is eucalyptus stellulata. It's a pretty rare species, and they just suffered because I haven't been here. I haven't been here for a couple weeks, and I haven't watered. So just, I mean, they've suffered. But you can see my, this is my California flag. This is a great place, California. That's a place with a lot of palms. So I believe it or not, tomorrow I'm going to California again. I'm doing a backpacking trip, and I won't be able to record videos I won't have access to my phone for a couple weeks. So I'll be using a camera. I have my own camera that I've been used previously, and I will be recording like a bunch of videos, but I won't be able to publish them for about 2 weeks. So I try to publish videos every day. Yesterday I missed, unfortunately, but I try to publish at least a video a day. And I now, like 2 weeks, I won't be able to. So that's all right. I mean, you guys can see on the back end, I'm going to go to Yosemite and go through the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, which again are some of the most beautiful places in the world. Fly in and out of San Francisco, so hopefully I'll see some palms as well, because there's lots of palms in San Francisco. Thanks, Will. Yeah, I love that flag. That's why I got it, and I got it under the American flag there. And Austria's got a pretty cool flag. I'm a big flag enthusiast. Still waiting for my sables to germinate. Ah, I see. Yeah, my sable palmetto have all pretty much germinated. They're in the baggie, and I need to take them out soon. But I'm gonna wait a little until they have like a little frond on them, and then I'm gonna take them all out. I bought 45 seeds that I tossed in the baggie, so I expect about 35 or maybe 30, more than 30 to germinate, which is, you know, I'm excited for that. I'm gonna do a little experimenting. I have a lot of palmetto seed that I collected in Virginia Beach, so that's one of the hardiest ecotypes of all. Yeah. My new Musa sycamensis red tiger is putting some puffs. Oh, that's awesome, Will. You know, I don't even have any bananas. I'm really embarrassed to say. I need to get some. They're really rare in garden centers around here. I haven't seen any Musa baju or Musa. You only see like Musa. You only see like Incente ventricosum and the other tropical bananas, which will never grow here. People just use them as annuals, but I want the real hardy stuff. And a lot of my neighbors have them. A lot of gardeners here get them, but I don't know where they get them. They're very rare in stores around here, but incredibly common in yards. I mean, they're right on my street. Do you have a video on the baggie method? Yeah, so I have a video. I forget what it's called. It was like 3 months ago, probably, when I tossed, or 4 months ago, when I put the seeds in the baggie. I'm gonna make another video, by the way, very soon, within the next month, when I remove the seedlings from the baggie, about how to remove them from the baggie. It's called like using the baggie method to germinate sable palmetto, or how to use the baggie method to germinate palm seeds. Just search up baggie method on my channel, and you'll find it. So, yeah, I have like a video on it because I haven't used it very much, but it's very successful. I don't really have mass amounts of seeds, except for very soon. A lot of the sables here, I saw some today, have seed on them. They're starting to get their seed. So when I get back from my trip, I'm gonna go sable seed collecting, and I will have tons. So I'm probably gonna toss a bunch around. Speaking of which, I tossed a bunch of sable seeds on the creek nearby. I expect they'll be germinating soon. They're probably starting to germinate now. So I need to check on those right in the woods, because I want to create one of those like sable forests, which I think would be really cool. So yeah, I do have a video. Just search up baggie method on my channel, and I think you'll find it. I have like one video on it, I think. Yeah, I haven't had this channel that long, probably maybe 9 or 10 months. Probably like 9 months. I think it started September of last year, my first video, and then it was a while. I would send you some. I have a lot. Oh, that's very nice, Will. You don't have to worry about that. You know how much it costs to send stuff overseas. No, I can definitely find it. In fact, a neighbor of mine, or not a neighbor, someone who lives in my neighborhood who has a bunch of palms. He's got like a 50-year-old, it's like a 10-foot needle palm. I know, it's insane how big it is. And he used to have a bunch of trackies, which sadly died in a really bad winter, because they are marginal here. They're about 20 feet. They were over his house. And he had a 27-foot washi, which also died. He said he would dig me up a pup, so you don't have to worry about that, but thank you. That's a very nice offer. I don't want to put you through the trouble that you. It does cost an insane amount to ship overseas. Believe me, I know it costs a lot. But yes, you can see by the sky, it looks like it is going to rain soon. I expect it's like downpour, but I think it might start raining a little bit. But yeah, I'll take you guys on a little tour through the garden. And yeah, great to have you in here, Will. Thank you so much for joining. Can you send me some? Gonna pay you. Yeah, so I think I might, I'll definitely send you some. I think I might start a YouTube, not a YouTube, an eBay page. I don't have one currently, but I might start an eBay page, and obviously I'll post a video on that if I do, selling sable minor seeds, because sable minor are probably about the only palms here that really produce seed. Needle palms are the most common, but you don't see a lot of them with seed around here. And the sable minor, they produce seed, and they produce lots of it. So I will, in about a month, once they're chock full of seed, and I saw some of them today. They're getting loaded. They're like not quite ripe yet, but they have tons of seed on them. I will be collecting thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and yeah, I will be selling them. You don't have to. Maybe I'll give you a friend discount, or we'll see. I don't know. I'll obviously let you know once I collect them, Will, and I'll definitely send some your way. But yeah, so obviously. It's been a while since I made a video on these. My Fortunae, another one of mine, the other one I had died. This one's doing really well. Made it through completely unprotected this past winter. And it's amazing. There's like a snap in this stem here, and this frond still hasn't died. That happened a while ago. And it's put out 2 new fronds, these 2 ones here. Recently, this one, I don't know, looks like it was chopped off. I don't know what caused that. Got a nice firm spear there, and it's doing really well. It hasn't really grown much, but it's put out 2 new nice fronds. And I'm just pleased to see it's done well. It's a nice shelter spot up against this fence here. Wagnerianus doesn't really look like one yet, but this is a Trachycarpus Wagnerianus. It's put out some nice fronds. Sable minor, it's putting out this nice one right now. And got a new spear here. I think that spear might be a split frond, which will be really cool. Like not a split frond, but a full mature frond. My what's it called? Trachycarpus Takeel is doing really well, and the fronds on this are just gorgeous. And you can see very different from Fortunae. They're much more divided, look almost like Camerops a little bit. So super duper cool, look very tropical, I think. I think it's one of the more tropical looking Trachycarpus. It's starting to rain out, by the way. Fig here, which was cut down by my neighbor's gardeners, is finally growing back pretty nicely, and I've got a big fig there. So yeah, everything is doing well. I'll go take you to the front and show you guys the palms there. And yeah, this pad is just, I don't know what's happening there. This one, this is my Apuntia hemifusa. This is native, by the way. I don't know, Will, if you saw my video on the wild prickly pear growing right near my house in the woods by the river. There's actually wild prickly pear cactus right here in DC. People don't really expect it here. They expect it more like in the desert. But there's lots of prickly pear growing wild here in Maryland and on the East Coast. So yeah, that I collected from a local patch. And I got 3 different prickly pear here. Oh, what happened here? Someone chopped off this just fell off. Someone chopped this off. This is a new pad, by the way, so I'm gonna stick that in the ground. Huh, that's really unfortunate. I don't know if someone stepped on it or what, but you can see it's putting out a bunch of new pads. Huh, that's really unfortunate. I don't know why someone would do that, but I'm gonna take this to the front, actually. Actually, yeah, I'll take it to the front. I should take it to the back. I don't know where to plant it. Here's my lady palm, by the way. It's doing really, really well. I haven't watered this at all. Like, I watered it once, and somehow it's done a lot better than my eucalyptus. But it's done really well. Oh yeah, I'm getting some thorns in me from this is a little pad here. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick this in here actually. There's a little crack here, so I'm gonna try to, I don't even have any materials on me. I'm just gonna dig this little out here. I hope I don't have any thorns in my hand from that prickly pear. Yeah, either way. Yeah, sorry, not the most interesting. I'm just planting this little pad really quickly, Will. Because someone, I don't know what, chopped this little pad off, but this is a prickly pear pad. I know it looks really weird because they're supposed to be round, but this is a new one that just grew off of my prickly pear planted there. Awesome, Will. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I want to know what happened to that. Also mine got a new pad. Awesome. Yeah, my one in the front has 3 new pads on it, by the way, which is really cool because I just planted them recently. All my prickly pear are pretty recent plantings. All right, yeah, I'm sticking this thing in. All right, there we go. And these things don't really need any soil. They're super tough, so I'm just gonna, they don't really need any, like, potting soil. I don't even have any potting soil with me right now. It's a sin. It's a gardener's sin. I should have potting soil on me, but I don't as of now. And these are planted under beautiful eastern hemlocks here in, yeah, right here on the side of my house. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Will. There you go. Just dropped my camera. There we go. Anyways, yeah, so these are eastern hemlocks, Tsuga canadensis. These are one of the few native conifers and native evergreens to the area. I wouldn't say one of the few conifers, I guess, at least. There's a couple evergreens native here, like American holly, etc. So yeah, it's my favorite native tree, and they're dying because of this new pest that's been invading the area. I don't know if you've heard about that, the hemlock woolly adelgid, but been killing a bunch of them lately. And yeah, really unfortunate and very sad. But yes, they are, a lot of them are dying, and I went onto the Smoky Mountains. You can see a lot of dead ones, but yeah, anyways, there we go. Pads in. All right. You can grow another one with one which broke off. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm sticking it in the ground there, because it'll just grow. I don't even have to do anything to it. My needle palm's really dry, but it's doing all right. The suckers are doing well. So here's my needle palm. It should be doing better because I haven't watered it. So it would be doing better if I watered it. My sable miner's been doing pretty well here in the shade. This one's sort of getting choked out here. But yeah, these are the hemlocks. They're beautiful native trees here. Do you know Cylindropuntia imbricata? Yeah, I know it's one of something choya. I don't know which choya. I know Cylindropuntia is choya, but which species is that, by the way? And look at this. My sago is about to flush out a whole new layer of fronds right there. It's pretty cool. And look, this is the sable miner, which I made a video on. Just super tough. Look at this thing. It just got completely chewed up or stepped on, and now it's growing back. I think that's pretty cool. It's raining now. I'm gonna go into the trees in a second, but I think that's pretty neat. And that one hasn't really done anything. So yeah, that's that. Tree choya. Okay, yeah. I know like there's a ton of cholla that I saw when I was in the Southwest. You probably saw my videos from the Southwest, but yeah, these are my my prized front palm collection. This is pretty cool. So here's my much more than any of the others that I have. For some reason, it's just grown like an insane amount. Look at this thing. I mean, it's just, I had to put a trellis there because this thing was completely falling over. It's just, I mean, I've heard of them growing like 7 feet a year and I didn't believe it, but now I believe it because this thing, I planted like 2 months ago. It was like that big, literally like 2 months ago it was that big, and it's just grown like a weed, which is awesome. Camerops is doing really well, and you see this sort of like a little rock. Put a little peroxide in there, which helped it, and this thing has put out 3 tree cholla. That's pretty cool because there are you'll see some cholla in DC. If you they're not very common here, but there's one at the zoo, there's some that are in people's yards. I've seen quite a few cholla here. I don't know which species. It might be the imbricata, the one you mentioned, but yeah, this one is just dried out. This is just dried out, and the end here are not really dried, but this is just a pretty dried out cinerea. It's just snapped. Yeah, so that's not too good. I hope it gets some water. I watered it yesterday, but this one is just dried out. The other ones are doing better because this one's in full sun. So let's go take a look down here and see what we see. But yeah, Will, how's your garden doing? How's the weather? What's the temperature? How's everything doing? This one got completely mowed over. This is another cinerea, and I put this trellis here, this little stake to prevent the mowers from mowing it, just like the other one. And it's done, it got mowed down all the way to grass level, and it's growing back really nicely, which is just awesome to see. And then this other one up here, unfortunately, it was growing really well, and it got mowed over as well. I had it in one of the garden beds, but it was right on the edge of the bed, and it just got completely mowed over. It was huge. It was like almost as big as the one there that you just saw. Which is big. And there was a squirrel that was ran over here, by the way. You can see these stains in the road. Huge squirrel. And it's like guts. You can see the guts and everything. But thankfully that squirrel has been removed, I guess. So I'm gonna go around here. And yeah, I just put a stake in here to prevent the mowers from mowing it again. Thankfully, when you chop down a eucalyptus or mow it over, if they're small, they will grow back, which is really awesome. So, look at my flip-flop, by the way. I don't know if you have these in Austria, Will, but people here in America like them a lot. They're like beach shoes. This thing's growing back really nicely. It's in a little bit of shade here under this beautiful pine. So that's pretty cool. It was huge, and then it just got chopped down. And this is right in the middle of my street, right in the median. And then I had a sable minor seedling here, and something, I don't think it was a person that removed it, because there's still weeds there, but I think it was like an animal or something removed it. Maybe someone thought it was a weed and removed it, but that was really unfortunate. And by the way, look at this. I'm just gonna sneak up the driveway. I know these people really well. These are my neighbors. And there are, I think, 3 musabaju just on my street. And this is, I think, the finest one. Just beautiful. Look at this. It really looks like a jungle in here. Just incredible. Look at these. Look at these leaves. I mean, just, and the way that they sort of like break apart, I think is so cool. Just, they naturally sort of break apart to look just extra exotic. Just beautiful. Look at these. I mean, look at these, how thick these trunks are. Look at these thickness on that. It's just insane. But yeah, that's this, my neighbor's musabaju. I wish I had musabaju like that, but I don't even have any because they're just so rare around here. I just invested in my palms, and now I need to start getting some other exotics. I have a cacti and stuff, but I need some musabaju, definitely. All right, let's see what you guys said. Around 90 Fahrenheit lately. Wow, that's like here. It's been about that hot. That's pretty hot, Will. Wow, a lot of rain last week. Are you up in the mountains, Will? Because I know a lot of Austria is very mountainous. And yeah, this yard is just taken over by English ivy. Will, do you have English ivy where you are? Because I know it's native to much of Northern Europe, but this is a horrible invasive species here. It's actually native to Europe, but it's just taken over. It's in lots of yards, as you can see here, just strangles the trees out, and it's all over the full forest here. And it's a huge invasive species, and nobody likes it. Well, a lot of people like it, actually, because a lot of people planted it, like back when the English settlers came, before anyone knew about invasive species. And it killed out a lot of the native trees. And you can see my neighbor has some. I don't know if they planted it or what, how it got there, but you can see we have this like rhododendron here. This is a split between my property and my neighbor's property. You can see how we keep all the English ivy away, but we can't really, I think someday I'm just gonna come up here in the middle of the night and just remove it or something, but you can see how we can't really remove it from my neighbor's yard. It's just all over my neighbor's yard. And it started, you know, creeping into my yard. It's right next to my needle palm now, because that's right on my neighbor's property, like on the edge of my property and my neighbor's. And then we got some nice holly here, but that English ivy is just a pest. Anyways, let's go look at some non-invasive, awesome exotic plants. How about that? A lot of rain, that's awesome. We could use a little bit more rain, but we have a lot of rain here. Currently working on a plant wiki app. Really? That's awesome, Will. You've always got a project. You got the Discord and everything like that. Let me know when you publish that or when it comes out, because I would love to see that. Bro, flip-flops with oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm really weird wearing with socks. You can see my socks actually have a... Here, look, they actually have a left and a right sock. It's really weird, I know. But yeah, you can see, yes, yeah, I know it is weird I wear with socks. I usually don't wear it with socks, but I just wear it with socks when I step outside and I don't want to put regular. You know why I would be wearing normal shoes. My shoes are packed right now because I'm going on a trip tomorrow, as I told you about. So I will not be able to make videos for about 2 weeks. I'll be filming videos, but I'll be filming on my camera, so it won't be until I get back that I'll be able to upload them. So stay tuned for that. I'll be in Yosemite and I'll be in Sierra Nevada. I'm really excited for that. That's really awesome about the app, Will. Let me know when your app is finished. I want to check that out. That sounds really neat. How's it going? Jacob Gonzalez, welcome in. It's going really well, thanks. How are you doing? How's the weather? Where are you, Jacob? Are you in Texas? I don't know why I remember that, but I think I'm remembering that wrong. I don't know. Let me know where you are, Jacob, and let me know how everything's going where you are. I'll love to know about the weather, because weather goes right hand in hand with exotic gardening, because you always got to check on the weather, especially in winter. Not really as much now, but let me know how the weather is where you are. And it's raining slightly. It's sort of drizzling here. And it's cloudy, rainy, and yeah, I like the rain. I love the rain, actually. Helps cool us down because it's pretty hot here in summer. Going really well anyways. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, you're in South Texas. Right. I remember that. That's a good... Do you have any coconuts, by the way? Because if I was in South Texas, and hopefully when I move to Southern California one day, I hope to plant a coconut. And South Texas, I think, is even better than Southern California, because it's got like it's like semi-arid, but it's wet. It's more wet than Southern California, so it's almost like a little bit of a tropical... It's like a mix between a desert and a tropical climate. It's like straight down the middle of that, basically, because it's semi-arid. You got lots of cacti in South Texas, including like barrel cacti and stuff like that. But it's also pretty wet, and you got lots of big coconuts, at least prior to the freeze, the tragic freeze. So that's really awesome, Jacob. What kind of palms do you have, by the way? Because there's lots of cool palms. Do you have royals? Royal palms and coconuts are what I would try in South Texas, because I've seen some beautiful ones down there. And it's really just when you get to the far south end of Texas, like on the Mexico border, that you really start to see the coconuts and royals, which I think is super neat. Gonna take a while, I think. Still not sure how to structure the app so it's not a mess with all the different plants there are. Oh, I see. Are you doing like all plants just in the world? Because that might take a while. And then if you do like exotic plants, like what counts as an exotic plant, then it just gets controversial. And then you do like a palm one. Is there a palm? I think there is a palm Wikipedia. Palmpedia, I think it's called. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool, Will. That's an amazing project, and I can't wait to see it. I bet it'll be awesome, by the way. I will be, of course, checking that out and probably using it a lot once it comes out. Have a lot of it, but more beautiful ivy. Oh yeah, there is variegated. I think you're talking about like variegated English ivy, because there is variegated ivy which people plant here. It's almost like a prized exotic plant. But look, I would never plant any ivy because the ecosystems are just different in Austria, which people got to take into effect. A lot of places in England, for example, where it's native to English ivy, you know, people think, oh, the forests look just like they did here. We could just plant some English ivy. But no, the ecosystem's different. Different animals feed off of it and keep the balances in check. And you just got to monitor that, because different ecosystems work differently, so that there are no like biological controls for English ivy here. So it just spreads like wildfire. And yeah, it's something you got to keep in mind. So a lot of ivy here. People still plant it. It grows up people's houses. Like, I went to Princeton. I didn't go to college there. I went to do like a tour there, or I went there with my grandparents, and they still have ivy on all the old buildings. It's like a, you know, it's sort of like a memory of the old colonial days when people would plant ivy, but not anymore. Same with kudzu. Do not plant any kudzu here. I hate that more than ivy. It's the one plant I think around here that I hate more than ivy. And there are a lot of plants around here that I hate, believe me. But I love most of them. Like those hemlocks just are gorgeous. Those beautiful evergreen conifers right there. And people don't realize how rare evergreens are. They're taken for granted in the West, in a lot of Europe and stuff, but they are very rare here in the wild. So seeing those pure conifer stands, pure hemlock stands, the ones that haven't died yet, that's really cool because they're rare. Sorry, I've just been talking a lot. I'll read some of your guys' comments now. I saw 3 coconuts alive, 2 by the road in South Padre Island, and 1... Really? You're talking about after the freeze? Because I know there were like... I didn't actually realize... Like, I thought it was like Southern California, where like coconut here, coconut there. Like, they're very rare and spread out. But there actually were a lot of them in South Texas before the freeze. That's awesome that you saw some. With Jacob Gonzalez. That's awesome, Jacob. I only have Washington robustus as far as my palm tree inventory. I see. Well, they're good palms for there, and they're even considered invasive, sort of like weeds down there. But I would plant them, obviously. I love Washingtonia, so that's pretty awesome. I don't think they'd be killed by the freeze down there. Even in Houston, a lot of them survived. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you should think about getting a royal or a coconut. I don't know how rare they are. I bet coconuts are much easier to find than royals down there, but I would try one that's more exotic. There's like so many palms you can grow down there, Jacob, as I'm sure you're aware. But yeah, tons of others. I was thinking about people, sorry, what does that say? I was thinking about people I trust can add plants they want to add. Oh, that's awesome, Will. Well, that's very nice. I think I'll need to check that out because that's a super cool idea, Will. I like your ideas. Max Lax, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining in. How are you doing, Max Lax? Where are you exactly? What city are you in? What country, town, state, etc., province? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. I have a beautiful Corono de Cristo and beautiful little cacti. Oh, that's awesome, Jacob. As you can see here, by the way, there's lots of cacti native where you are, as I'm sure you know. And this is the only native species of cacti where I am. Pachyhemafusa. If you guys check out, I think my second newest video, it's of the wild cacti right near where I am. A video of a tiny patch of wild cacti. That's just a tiny one. I was with my friends. I couldn't go off, and I know there's lots of bigger patches near there, but I was with my friends, so I had to cut the video short, and I had to make it. I couldn't go see the other ones, but there's lots of wild cacti around here. Cacti, but just this one species, Eastern prickly pear, Pachyhemafusa. It's the only species native here. And there are other species native to the Midwest and stuff, but that's pretty awesome. Yeah, our ivy isn't really invasive. Maybe it's too dry and sunny. Yeah, I'm sure that's it, Will. It's just like in Southern California, ivy doesn't become invasive because people actually grow it. There it is. I can actually understand growing it as like a prized plant. I would never ever plant it, but I saw like this whole property filled with ivy once in LA, and it had like green grass and everything. So you need to water it a lot to keep it alive in LA. That's why it's not invasive down there. Corona de Cristo looks amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful. Have you heard of Copernicia faliensis? Yes, I have heard of that species. I don't know the common name, but I know of it. I have the book Palms of Cuba, and I believe Copernicia faliensis is native to Cuba, and it's a beautiful species. I know all Copernicia species are pretty amazing, but I have heard of it, Will. Do you have one? Because I know they're not very cold hardy. I don't think any Copernicia species is very cold hardy, but I would love to grow them if I could. Maybe in Southern California, when I hopefully move there one day. Yes, after the freeze. Oh, Jacob, that's awesome. I saw one picture that someone posted of one like that. It was live in their backyard, and I didn't know if it's protected or not, but that's really, really awesome. So hopefully some of them, I don't think you guys in South Texas were hit as bad as North Texas, Dallas, Houston, etc. But still, that's pretty crazy. What's going on in Texas, actually? Is it common that some freezes occur? So, Will, no. The freeze in Texas was extremely rare, and it was one of the worst freezes. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if you know Texas very well, but pretty much all of Texas, or much of Texas is good for growing all sorts of palms. Like Washingtonia, at least Folifera, will thrive throughout, I'd say probably 70% of Texas. So, a lot of Texas, you know, with the exception of maybe the northern panhandle. It's a great place for growing palms. Once you get on the coast, like Houston, that's a very, very, very warm city. Lots of palms there, very exotic ones, not just Washingtonia. And what happened with Texas was like this incredibly rare once in like decades freeze, where it just froze extremely bad. And the palms there, like Washington Robusta, some of which were like 100 years old in Houston, died. And some of them died and some of them just got really damaged. So no, it was a very, very, very rare freeze event, but it shows you that because it's right down the plains, the cold wind just rolled right down the Great Plains. There's no mountain ranges really to block it, and just slammed Texas. And then you have like all this freezing, where in Houston you got snow and you got like temperatures way below freezing, where normally it doesn't go below freezing very much. And pipes burst, pipes froze, and people's homes were flooded. I know people in Houston whose homes were flooded, so it's a real tragedy. And no, it's very, very rare. Houston is a very warm city where lots of palms should be growing, and there are lots of palms there, but I'd say about half of the Washingtonia Robusta in Houston survived, maybe. And all the Phylifera there survived, but that's a very, very warm city. And then South Texas, you got coconuts, Will, so that's very, very, very warm. That's like an almost tropical location in South Texas. South Texas, by the way, people think of South Texas as like the southern half or the southern quarter of Texas. South Texas, geographically, is defined as only like the very, very, very southern part of Texas, right on the Mexico border, like Brownsville, McAllen, I think it's the city, those cities way south in Texas. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Corona de Cristo in English means crown of Christ. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Jacob. Yeah, it does mean crown of Christ, and you know, for a good reason. It's a beautiful, beautiful species. Of course, wait, oh yeah, Will, definitely send the link, because your Discord is pretty cool. And more people need to join in there. Well, when that one is Humifusa, I am not sure which my Puncha is. Well, so different Humifusa can look different, very different, based on like the ecotype and where they're growing. So that's what you got to take into account. It's amazing how some of my eucalyptus, by the way, sorry, changing the subject a little, have dried out so much, like the one over there. And this one hasn't dried out whatsoever at all. This is just, I mean, so much bigger than my other ones. That's a eucalyptus cinerea, by the way, silver dollar. And then Camarops humilis and a Puncha Humifusa, eastern prickly pear. Oh, you moved into the Outer Banks. That's really awesome. That is so awesome. That is such a great climate there, by the way. Yeah, that's like the northernmost place, by the way. The Outer Banks of North Carolina. Basically, Cape Hatteras is like the northernmost place you'll find actual like long-term Phoenix canariensis, Canary Island date palms, because it's just so far out from North Carolina coast. It's so far out in the sea. It's got like a nice warm microclimate out there. It's really incredible. And there's wild sable minor growing up most of the Cape, which I really want to see, especially in Cape Hatteras, which I think is just so cool on the Outer Banks and everything. It's just so cool. I'm jealous, by the way, very jealous, Max Lax. Well, when that one is Will know this freeze killed lots of things. Yes, everyone was shocked and sad, and it killed lots of things no one expected to die. Like Phylifera died, some of them in Dallas, which are considered foolproof there. Sables even got damaged in some areas. Not sable minor, because they're wild to Dallas, but sable minor didn't get damaged anywhere in Texas that I know of. And they even survived in Wichita, Kansas, which is 2 states north of Texas. So those are tough palms, but yeah. Hey, Why with Dreamy Eyes, welcome in. How are you doing? Great to see you in here. Thanks for joining in, Dave. It's been a while, and great to see you in here. Yeah, I'm in my front garden, and I'll take you guys back through again, but these are some of my palms and exotic plants here, and yeah, let's go through it. So this is this should flush out new layer of fronds soon, right down there, the growing point. I previously had 2 tiers of fronds before it got damaged about 22 Fahrenheit. I had it out almost all winter in a pot. This one hasn't done anything. I got this dead. I got this when it quote unquote was dead, but I just put it in the ground and then some animal dug it up, and it took me a while to realize. So I don't know if there's still any life in that. Here, look, there's nothing, but if you look very, oh, sorry, you'll see that sable minor dead, and I made a video on that. Super cool. No one steps on it, and no animals chew it. Hey, Dara O'Connell, Southwest Ireland Rainforest. Welcome in. Nice eucalyptus. Thank you very much, Dara. Great to have you in here, by the way. What time is it in Ireland? It's got to be like 9 or something. Okay, interesting. Thanks, Will. I say some videos on YouTube, and it's very sad to see. If you look on Palm Talk, there's a whole thread on it where people have been posting. It's called like Texas Freeze something. I don't know. Look at the thread of pictures. It's really like insane. It's like an apocalypse. It really is. It's tragic. Sable minor there, by the way. Haven't really watered these at all, so my needle palm's a little dried out, but it's doing all right. And I gave some water yesterday. I need to get more water. This thing, I barely watered at all, and they are more drought tolerant than people give them credit for. See them in LA a lot. This is a lady palm, Rapis excelsa, and a bunch of Hemafusa here, Eastern prickly pear, cactus, another one. I live in Wislaco, about 10 miles from the, Wislaco, excuse me, 10 miles from the border. My parents are both, oh, that's awesome, Jacob, yeah. Yeah, the US-Mexico border, basically the entire border is great for growing palms. That's pretty cool. I want to go to Mexico one day, by the way. It's a dream of mine. It's a beautiful country, and yeah, basically warmer than the entire US, basically, because it's just south of there, so that's pretty awesome. That's a good place to be, I'll tell you that. That's a great climate. If I would love to live in Southern California. If I can't, South Texas is one of the places I would consider. Or maybe Arizona or something like that. A warm climate, definitely. Obviously, for growing palms. Maybe the old stem decomposing is... Maybe, that's possible. And then it might be able to focus more energy on the new growth. But it is, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I haven't watered it all. I've been gone for weeks. And I'm leaving again tomorrow. It's crazy. I can't believe it. It's 31 Celsius in Southwest. Really? 31 Celsius? What is that, like 100 Fahrenheit or something? Jesus, that's crazy, Dara. I had no idea. 31 Celsius. That is crazy. It's like 86 Fahrenheit, I think, right here. Scented above. Could you? Awesome, yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, joined Will's Palm Discord, by the way. I joined it. It's pretty cool. And we need to get some more people in there. Yes, Dave, well, I'm glad you're still around, and we're always glad to have you in here because you are a good friend. And thank you. New gymnastics video. That's really awesome. I will check that out. Check out Dave's channel, White with Dreamy Eyes. And he's got definitely the most unique videos on YouTube, I think I'll say. Very unique and really cool. By the way, Dave, I'm really sorry to hear about Lytton. I don't know if you guys know, but Lytton, British Columbia is a town in southern British Columbia, south central British Columbia. It is... in what's called the desert of Canada. It's the near like Osoyoos, and I think it's north of there, but like it's in like the, you know, what they call the only true desert in Canada. It's like a steppy ecosystem, and it's recorded the hottest temperature ever in Canada, and then recently it broke that record for 3 days in a row, recording a temperature of 121 Fahrenheit, which is just absolutely insane. For you guys who don't know, the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth is 134 Fahrenheit, which was recorded in Death Valley National Park in California. This is like not far from that, 121 in Canada. So it broke the record 3 days in a row this past, like a month ago, for the hottest temperature in Canada. And then it burnt in a wildfire after recording that. And it's a beautiful town. I've seen Dave's videos of it, and it's just gorgeous, tiny little town. And it's just absolutely tragic what happened there. And I'm so sorry to hear about that, Dave. A similar thing happened in Paradise, California. I watched the National Geographic documentary, Rebuilding Paradise, which is very inspirational about this town called Paradise, California, in Northern California, which had been destroyed by wildfire, and now they're rebuilding it. And I really hope the same goes for Lytton, because it's a beautiful town right in the desert of Canada, or at least a semi-arid places. And the landscape resembles the American Southwest. It's just gorgeous. And we can't let that be lost. So hopefully they rebuild, and maybe there's some stuff that can be salvaged. I don't really know, but I've seen some pictures, and it's very devastating. But, you know, with tragedy comes hope. Hopefully they can rebuild, and that's all I'll say. But I'm really sorry to hear about that, Dave. Hopefully one day it'll be back to its former glory. 10:11 p.m. Oh, wow. Thanks for joining in, Dara. That's pretty late. What's the fern? The fern in the front. I don't know what that is, actually. I don't know many of my ferns very, very well. There might be an ostrich fern. They just die and come back. I like tree ferns more, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a good question. To non-Canadians, did you hear that tragedy? Yes, yeah, exactly, Dave, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about Lytton, but you guys should look that up because it's pretty sad. Yeah, I need to check out your new video, Dave. I didn't know that you had a new one. Maybe the chat blocks links. Will you? Huh, I don't know if it does. Not that I'm aware of, but... yeah, check his video. Record high for Ireland. Really? Yeah, I was going to say, that's insane. 90 Fahrenheit. Okay, yeah. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty insane. That is really high. Because Ireland stays... I think Ireland is a really great climate. I say Ireland. Obviously, Ireland has a bunch of different climates, but generally speaking, it's got pretty similar climates throughout. Warmer in the south, obviously, but it stays pretty nice and moderated. Like by the ocean, the whole country just stays pretty moderated. It never gets really too hot. So that is very hot for Ireland. You got a great climate, Dara, by the way. I love your climate. Thanks. Yeah, Dave, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, 121 Fahrenheit, Will. It's hard to believe. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but that's hotter than the hottest ever temperature recorded in Las Vegas. So the hottest temperature in Canada, in Lytton, that's hotter than the hottest temperature ever recorded in Las Vegas, ever. Which, and mind you, Las Vegas is insanely far south of Lytton and also stays way warmer in the winter. Las Vegas has lots of palms. It's an incredibly warm city, and it's in the middle of the desert. And I've been there in the late spring where it gets really, really hot. And this was hotter than the highest ever in Las Vegas, which is just insane. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It's very, very hot, yes. 50 Celsius, is that right? Yeah, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I got 160 centimeter humulus palm. I did a video on it. Yes. I saw your humulus, by the way, Dara. That's really awesome. And that Kells Bay place is pretty cool. Lots of palms there. Check out Dara's videos, Southwest Ireland Rainforest. He's got a really cool channel. Check out his videos and his palms. They're really awesome. And your camera ops, by the way, is gorgeous. 49.6 Celsius. Is that right? Oh my God. That is like 50 Celsius. That is unbelievable. The hottest in DC, I actually have no idea what the hottest in DC. I'm going to guess it's around 106, maybe? Because it's gotten well over 100 here before, but I shouldn't say well over 100. I remember it being like 102, 103. I'm guessing the hottest ever in DC is 106 or 7, maybe. It's gotten pretty hot here, and it gets really humid, but it usually doesn't get far above 100, or far above 95, I should say. Often gets to 95 in a hot day. But yeah. 43.6, that is insanely hot. Oh my God. For ostrich, wow. Most people in Lyndon have lived there for many generations. Is that right? So it's like one of those towns. Yeah, there's towns like that near here where just people, just generations old traditions and everything, and it's like in a time warp, it stays the same. That's terrible. That got destroyed. I can't believe that. Yes, I would love to go to Austria as well. 2 weeks ago, I fertilized my robusta with horse manure and it's producing 2 fronds twice the size of normal fronds. That's awesome, Jacob. That is awesome. Yeah, those things grow like weeds, especially down there, and they grow about 3 feet a year in an ideal climate, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, definitely a lot of amazing places to visit. That's the truth, Will. There's so many incredible places to visit. They say it may have been the hottest place. Really? Is that right? That's crazy. We're classical musicians and my great-grandma. Yes, I've seen you play your violin. That's pretty incredible. You're a really good violinist, by the way. Wow, really? Austrian Czech. That's pretty incredible. I never knew that. Are you part Ukrainian? Do I have that wrong? I might have that completely wrong. But I remember you saying where you're from originally, but I didn't know you're part Austrian Czech. That's pretty cool. Yep, Kells Bay in Ireland. Yeah, it's amazing. Kells Bay in Ireland is the biggest tree fern in the... Yes, really? Is that right? Yeah, I couldn't believe the pictures that I saw. It's like tree fern heaven there. It is insane. Then you have to visit Vienna. Yes. Does Vienna have palms, by the way, or Salzburg? That's pretty cool. I bet there might be some Trachycarpus around. Are there any palms there, Will? Any Trachys in Vienna? Those 2 towns are at the top of our list. That's awesome. Most people in Lytton are indigenous. That's amazing. That's like when I was in the Southwest, like a week ago. I went swimming because most of what we were in is called the Navajo Nation. It's the largest Native American reservation in the United States, about 18 million acres. So a lot larger than any national park in the United States. So I don't know if you guys know what 18 million acres is, but that's like bigger than a good number of countries. That's probably similar to the size of Austria, maybe. I don't know. It's probably a little smaller than Austria, but 18 million acres is insane. And it's part of, I think, 3 states, Utah, Arizona, and Colorado, and maybe part of New Mexico too. It's around the Four Corners region. And I went swimming at Lake Powell. You guys saw the video where I did a cannonball into the lake right next to the dam? That was pretty cool. It was really fun. The water was really blue, and I was there. The only people there with me were all indigenous at the beach. It's not a beach. It's like on the edge of the lake. And I spoke to them. We get a tour of Antelope Canyon. We weren't allowed to take any videos, but the guy that gave the tour was indigenous because it's on indigenous land. And yeah, it's special. It's special to be there with indigenous people. Those people know the land better than anyone, so that's really sad. It is really tragic, Dave. Should visit Kells Bay. Yes, I definitely need to visit. I need to visit Ireland, by the way. Really? Is that right? Crack the heat record in Austria. That is crazy. That is insane. I couldn't believe that. Like 43 Celsius, you said? That's like, was it like 115 Fahrenheit or something? Still waiting for this year. Yeah, maybe it'll break it again. Our pastor's from Ireland. That's awesome. Viola, excuse me, sorry, David. I know is viola like lower sound or larger? I know one of them's larger. I played violin in, I think, 4th grade, so that was a while ago, but then now I play guitar and trumpet. I played trumpet in like middle school, but I haven't played in a while. But I still play guitar mostly. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Viola is really cool. Cool instrument. I wish I had stuck with it. Yeah, you should see his videos. He plays viola. It's really nice. Yeah, check out Dave's channel. You guys should all check out each other's channel. I think everyone on here, pretty much, most of you guys have channels, which is really cool. It's paradise. Yeah, that looks like paradise, Dara. I really couldn't believe that. And up in Ireland, so far north of me, there are massive tree ferns, so many palms. It's just insane. You have such a warmer climate than us, and so far north, which is just insane. I'm a viola player, mostly German descent. I see. I'm mostly German descent as well, by the way, Dave. Actually, I'm a quarter Portuguese, very German. I'm part Irish, by the way, Dara. I am. My grandfather's father or grandfather was from Ireland, or maybe it was his mother. I don't know. One of my grandfather's parents was from Ireland, so I am part Irish. A lot of mix. Vienna could have some same climate like mine, but in winter. I bet there are some in Vienna. In fact, I think I might have seen some pictures of some. I think there's a couple around there, maybe. But not in public places. I see. Palms are still pretty rare here, actually. Yeah, there's some places like like probably where you are, where the climate's like ideal. You could grow lots of palms, but they just aren't as common. They just aren't very common because they just haven't really gotten there yet. Like Joe, like before he went to Salt Spring Island, he said there were a couple palms, but there were no bananas or anything. And I think one of the first articles of the Palms magazine mentioned that the northernmost palms were in Victoria, and there were trackies there, and now there are palms a good degree north of there. So that is pretty, it just shows how they spread. Dad was from Romania, mom from USA, brother, sister, and really? Where was your mom from in the US? That's pretty cool. That's a big mix. Wow. I see. Very nice. Very nice, Dave. That's a good mix. Waiting for your eBay. Yeah, see, the seeds aren't really ripe yet, but I will definitely be getting a lot. Definitely toss them around, by the way, Will. They are, judging by your climate, they should be very, very foolproof there. And if you guys, Dave, you should try some Sable Minor. I'm going to be collecting the seed here soon. This is a young one here, by the way. Dwarf Palmetto. Dave, you should try one. They're very hardy. They're probably not quite hardy where you are, but they're really easy to protect. They stay small, and you should try one if you want to. I mean, it's a little bit of investment maybe to protect it, but they're great palms. Yeah, that's what I did. I tossed them around the creek, a couple thousand of them, and they should be germinating soon. Oh, I forgot to mention that this year's weather in South Texas is bipolar. January, March, it was cold, fresh in April. Sorry, I lost that. It's been hot, humid. Last week it flooded 3 feet. Really? That is crazy. Wow. Yeah, the weather down there is crazy, but it's nice and warm pretty much most of the year without the extreme freezes. Also, really, I know the floods in Germany, by the way. I've been seeing that. And I know you're right near Germany, or close-ish, I guess, because Austria's pretty small. So that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. The flooding in Germany is just tragic. Please check out my videos, everyone. I'm so funny. All are welcome. Yes, definitely check out White with Dreamy Eyes videos. Check out his channel, guys. Absolutely. He is very funny. He's not just saying that. He's hilarious. And I love his videos so much. And they're very unique, very hilarious, and just awesome. If you want a good laugh, check them out. And also listen to his viola playing, because that's pretty cool. Yep, Alex, if you come to Ireland, come and visit me. I will, Dara. I would love to. Likewise, if you guys are in DC, you're welcome here. You can check out my palms. Not too much to see yet. Hopefully, I gotta wait for time to pass and for them to really grow in. But yes, that would be awesome, Dara. I can't wait, and I will make a video if I come, definitely. Yes, viola is lower, still played on the shoulder. I see. Very nice. I recently got a violin after playing piano and guitar. That's awesome. Well, yeah, I play a little bit of piano too. I know a couple songs. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I should get one of those. I like instruments a lot. I like music generally. I mean, that's a pretty general statement. I like music, but I like a lot of genres and stuff like that. This is a good way to know more YouTubers. Yes, exactly. I love meeting people. Like a lot of people that subscribe to me, I met them on Joe's live streams, and then they subscribed. And then likewise, I'll mention Joe's channel. If you guys haven't checked out Banana JSSI and Jungle Joe C and Gulf Island Rock, that's Joe and Wendy of Salt Spring Island. They have lots of subscribers, lots of videos, and for a good reason, they have lots of subscribers because their videos are amazing. He grows lots of palms and exotic plants in Salt Spring Island, British Columbia, which is probably the warmest climate, one of the warmest climates in Canada, at least in the winter, and lots of palms there. So yes, there are palms in Canada and lots of them. Yeah, I definitely agree, Dave. I definitely agree. Where in Ireland? I don't know where in Ireland, Dara, my family's from exactly. I'm guessing the Dublin area, I think, but that was that's at least 4 generations, or 3 or 4 generations back from me. So I'm not exactly sure. I need to ask my dad. I did a video on the flooding as in the Big Robusta. Really? You know, I don't think I've seen your videos, Jacob. I need to check out your channel. That's awesome. Yeah. I should check out your channel, Jacob. I will do that. Mom was from Nebraska. Nebraska, wow. That's right in the middle of the plains. I think Nebraska gets a bad rap. It's cold there. I wouldn't live there because I love palms and I love warm weather. But it's gorgeous. The plains are gorgeous. And it's like semi-arid. So you got like almost like a desert landscape in a lot of areas, which I think is super cool. Yeah, definitely. I need to check that out, Jacob. I'm sorry. I don't think I've seen your videos yet. Maybe I have. Oh, I can't grow those. I'm too far north. Yeah, you need to protect it. That's the thing. But they look nice to my... They look nice, yeah. I love palms. And I know you like palms, Dave, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe a needle palm would, I don't know. You're in a pretty cool climate, so yeah. They are nice palms. They're very nice, and they're bulletproof here, and they're the second most common palm in the area after the needle palm. And they're beautiful. The Big Robusta on my property is already making seeds this year. That is awesome. None of my palms are old enough to produce seed, but that's really cool. The day Linden hit 49.6, we had 39 Celsius in my backyard. Wow. Wow, yes, that's gonna heat your pool nicely. That's insane. That is insane. 39 Celsius, so what is that, like 107 Fahrenheit? Would it be like 105 something? 107, I don't know what that would be, but that is pretty hot. Maybe like 105, 104. That is pretty hot. All right, see you, Dara. Thanks for joining in. Southwest Ireland Rainforest. Love your videos, and check out Dara's channel, guys. Southwest Ireland Rainforest for more videos. And yeah, I know. Sorry, I know I'm just standing here. I'll show you guys some more stuff, but yeah, you can see it's just raining a little bit. It's like misting. Thankfully, it's not too hard. Fig has done really well, and these have nice, really exotic leaves. They're deciduous, which I like the banyans, the evergreen figs. But look at this crop yield. Just insane how much fruit this thing is producing. And it got it shows you that these things are actually, they're hardy here, but it's like how hardy cordylines are in southwest British Columbia. They're hardy there pretty much, but a bad freeze will take them out. And we had a bad freeze, I think in 2014, and it froze these things down to the ground, and you can see they sprouted back really nicely, and now they're nice and big. But as such, they haven't produced fruit for the past couple of years. They produced like 1 or 2, like only a couple fruits every year, and now they're like producing tons. So that's really cool. And this one, we actually, that year that we had, this one was our biggest. And then that year that they froze down, we had another one here, which got killed. And this one has come back as well, which is really nice. And I got my Spanish moss here, which is doing pretty well. It's really shaded because I put it here when these had no leaves on them. But the Spanish moss is doing pretty well. I can't complain. It's doing all right. It doesn't actually look great, but you know what? This is a pretty far north climate, and it looks all right. Like a little bit alive. I don't know. I'm just hoping this thing does all right, but I love Spanish moss. I don't know about you guys, but they're very, very exotic. It's a very exotic plant, especially when grown in large quantities, and a lot of mine was stolen. I need to take these down because I'm leaving tomorrow, but here's my California flag for those of you guys who have joined in recently. I love California, so. Got that. There we go. The bear flag. So I think that's pretty cool. I thought about moving permanently to Lytton. Scratch that idea. Oh yeah, that's terrible. You know what? Maybe Dave, when they rebuild, and maybe one day. You never know. That's just terrible. What happened? All right, Will. Oh yeah. So you're saying bye to Dara? Yes. Or were you? I don't know. 39 Celsius is 102 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's hot. That's like how hot it gets here. That's like the average extreme hot heat that it gets here in summer. I bought a beat up Robusta from Walmart for 20 bucks. Wow, that's really awesome. It must like you, Jacob, because he knows you're a palm lover, I'm sure. I bet. Do figs sometimes freeze back when they are small? Yes, and these ones were really small, and then they froze back, and one of them died, and then they came back nicely. Like eucalyptus, I'll come back after a freeze sometimes. One of mine died, two of them survived the freeze. That was a really bad freeze. They're pretty bulletproof here. They're nice figs. I bought, sorry, what, do figs sometimes, I read that. Are also common here in South. That's awesome. That's awesome, Jacob. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're cool figs. And banyans, you got banyans down there, so forget that. I mean, it's like Southern California and like Florida, you got all sorts of banyans there, which is just awesome. I love banyans. What is Spanish moss hardy? I think it's hardy to zone 8A reliably, and then zone 7 it can grow in most locations. So, Will, you should try it there. It's just they need a wet climate, and the issue here is honestly it's like a little too dry here in the summer, so they do need a wet climate, and they love humidity because they thrive down in Florida, where like they're native from Virginia, so one state south of here, like north of Virginia Beach, all the way down to Florida and into the Gulf Coast. So you'll see them in Louisiana, South Carolina, Georgia especially, and Florida. They're all over. They grow on like live oaks and bald cypress and all sorts of trees, and they sort of grow. They look like ghostly, almost like waving in the wind when they grow in large quantities, and you got to get a large quantity because the birds will steal it. They are beautiful. Yeah, my Spanish moss is I just sort of tangle it around here and hope it does all right. Sometimes a little bit of a drop, but yep. Oh, mosquitoes. God, I'm getting bitten a lot here by the mosquitoes. Some of you guys might know what that's like. A lot of mosquitoes. Just interested how figs... Oops. Just interested how figs don't really freeze down here, but trackies... Well, trackies are marginal here, so they will freeze down in a bad winter. Like that bad winter killed a lot of trackies that killed the figs. Or that didn't really kill. They killed one of my figs and froze down 2 of them. So trackies are not foolproof by any means, but this one did survive fine. A mild winter, they'll all make it fine. And the one at the Air and Space Museum, which is now at the Smithsonian Castle that they recently moved, that fig's been there for years and years and years, and it's just thrived. But yeah, I mean, I bet you trackies are probably similar hardness to here. Yeah, I mean, they're what's the term? I'm drawing a blank. They're marginally hardy here. So yeah. The new Lytton will never be like the old Lytton. Sad, I fear new Lytton will be overproof. I hope not. I hope they rebuild it in the old, like, West style that old Lytton was. It's like the Western U.S. Like a lot of the small Western towns are just so gorgeous. I hope they rebuild in the old way. I bet there's gonna be some preservation committee which will like enforce, like maybe British Columbia history or something like that will enforce the oh, lots of mosquitoes. Enforce like there must be some code, like in our neighborhood or in some neighborhoods around here. You can't like add it onto a house. It has to look like the old house. Or in like historic districts in DC, if you're building a new house, it has to be in like the old style. So I bet there must be something like that for a historic town like Lytton. I really hope not, Dave. I hope they rebuild it the old way. We can only hope, but I don't know. You also have some trachea seed in stock? No, I don't. And the one at only one trachea here that I know of produces seed that I know the guy who grows them. Huge ones, but no, I don't have any seed that's at least grown here, but it would be hardy. I would like to get some from the one at the Smithsonian Castle, except it's just it's a female, but there's only one, and you need 2 tracheas to produce seed, and that's the problem. Is they're rare enough here where it's very rare to find 2 growing side by side. Need to find some Spanish moss. Yeah, see, you can't find it in store really anywhere because it's so difficult to transport. It grows on. It's an epiphyte. It grows on other plants. It's raining a bit harder now, but that's the thing, is that you can't find it. You cannot find it anywhere really You got it. See, I didn't buy mine anywhere. Wow, that's loud. I don't know where to buy it anywhere. I got mine from Virginia Beach in the wild, and I actually collected mine in the wild, just some on the ground that had fallen from one of the trees. So I don't know where to buy it. That's the problem. You got to collect it like from the wild. I bet you can bring it on a plane though. What is the Latin name of yours? What is the Latin name of Spanish moss? It's like a Salida or something like that. It's like TSI, I think. TSI-LLIDA or something like that. I'm forgetting the exact name. Yeah, it's just called Spanish moss. So there's only one species referred to as Spanish moss. Just look up Spanish moss and you'll find the name. It's native to the southeastern United States. And maybe the Caribbean. There's a similar species that's native to the Caribbean, but I don't know. Yeah. No, it is hardy under freezing, and it's native north of Virginia Beach, where it frequently gets to freezing in winter. So yes. Although they might be being conservative and saying, oh, it's not hardy to freezing, when really it is, you know. But it's hardy below freezing to a degree. No Robustas, Jacob, because it's just not warm enough here, and I'm not really one for protecting my palms. I don't love the climate here. It's very hot in the summer, which I don't mind, but it's cold enough in the winter that there's so few palms we can grow here. But I do prefer growing, like, all these are at least marginally hardy here, and this one's bulletproof. These are pretty bulletproof, so I like growing palms. I'm not a huge one for protecting palms, and Robusta, unlike where you are, which I would obviously plant a Robusta if I was there, but they require protection here. And I know a guy in my neighborhood, this is sort of maybe the reason I don't have one. He had a 27-foot Robusta. It grew about like a foot or two a year, and they grow so fast that it got 27 feet. He couldn't protect it anymore. He was putting 3 stories of scaffolding around it in winter. It was just so much work and money to protect it. And then it just died because it's too big to protect. So if I grew one outside, here's what I do. I would like wrap the roots in something where they would stay restricted, and I could almost keep it like a bonsai, but put it in the ground, if you know what I'm talking about. And then I would keep it small, because I don't want mine getting too big. I would want to get it maybe to like my size, maybe like 6 feet or something like that, or 7 feet. I'm not 7 feet, but maybe get it like that tall. And then I can, you know, then I could like keep it as a nice, beautiful big palm, but not like too big. You know what I mean? Because it's just not worth it. And it grows too fast to keep inside. The same applies there, because you got to bring it outside at some point, because it just gets too big. So I've never planted one, but I would like to try one. If I got one for free, I would 100% plant it and just keep the roots restricted. Maybe wrap them somehow. I don't know. Mosquitoes hardly bother me anymore. It drives my wife. Well, you're in a dry enough climate. I would imagine there aren't many mosquitoes here, or there where you are, because here they're everywhere. It's a really wet climate. They just breed in like the ponds and everything. And my neighbor across the street, we blame them. Basically, the whole neighborhood blames them for our mosquito problem here, because everyone who visits us says the mosquitoes are the worst here. And my neighbors across the street, they're like all in their 80s. They actually grew up in this house in the 30s, believe it or not, and some of them weren't even born yet. They grew up in this house right here where I live. And their parents rented it. It used to be a rental. And their parents moved to the house across the street. And I think there's 3 or 4 kids, and like one of them wants to sell it, or 2 of them want to sell it, and the other 2 don't want to sell it. And so they're just keeping it there. Nobody even lives in the house across the street. It's just becoming more and more in disrepair. I've been inside before, and it's just boxes, floor to ceiling, of just memorabilia and junk and stuff. They're hoarders. They won't sell the house. They're losing money on it when they could be making a nice amount of money just for nostalgia. And the pond in the back, the pool in the back has a cover on it. The cover is broken, and there's just like dirty water sitting on top of the cover. Nobody swims in it. It's a disgusting, dirty pool. And they're going against definitely the Montgomery County code of cleanliness code, or for how you need to maintain your house. And the pool is just breeding ground for mosquitoes, because it's just dirty water sitting on top with leaves and everything. And it's just awful. I mean, I would show it to you, but I don't necessarily, I'm not sure if I could film their yard, but it's just terrible. I mean, it's really terrible. Yeah, so I imagine there aren't as many where you are, Dave. I'm surprised they're even there on the West Coast, because you're in a semi-arid location, I would imagine. Mosquitoes, sorry. So would you say sables are more hardy than figs? Well, obviously it depends on the sable. So sable minor, definitely, because it's bulletproof here, and it's bulletproof in New York, and lots of other locations that are colder than here. But certain sables, palmetto, definitely not, because that's not fully hardy here. That's marginal. And there are some that have survived a couple winters here unprotected, and then they'll die. And I'm germinating some in the baggie right now. I'm about to make a video on it when I take them out. So I'm going to do a little experimenting with palmetto, but some sables, yes, some sables, no. I say Sable Minor is probably the only sable. I'm not even going to say probably. I'm saying the only recognized sable. So not counting Sable Birmingham, not counting the other sables. Sable, what's it called? You know, the other sables. So yeah, I would say that Sable Minor is the only recognized sable. It's actually harder than the fig. Than this species of fig. Weslaco is a very old. All the buildings downtown are part of the same year Weslaco was founded. Weslaco was founded in 1919. Very old town. That's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, I love this. I've seen a lot of pictures of like the Texas towns, like the world's littlest skyscraper I know is in this little town in Texas. Lots of history down there, and lots of old buildings, which I love. I joined the Discord, but it's saying to respond to my email, so I can't chat. Huh. I don't know, Max Lax. Ask Will, I guess. I don't know. Many people struggle with the pronouncing of Weslaco. It's pronounced Westlaco, Texas. Westlaco. I see. Interesting, Westlaco. I was saying Weslaco. Westlaco, Texas. Well, that's a pretty cool name. Mosquitoes are bad here in June. Not bad. I see. So not nearly as bad as here, because they're awful here. I think I put, yeah, but I mean, they're annoying and they bite you. I think I put that one. Not bots and trolls are joining. Oh, okay. Very nice. That's a good idea. You want to keep those trolls out. I'm at 54 degrees north and quite inland. Cold winters, hot summers, lovely autumns and spring. Yes, you got some good weather there, although maybe a little too cold for me, but I would definitely want to visit. It seems like a gorgeous place, Dave. Yeah, 54 degrees. That's like as north as parts of England, I think. And that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you got a beautiful scenery around you. Certainly, it's one of those beautiful places out there. But very cold winters, I know that, and not nearly as cold as DC. Excuse me, we're not nearly as cold as you are. I should say. DC's got DC's got cold winters, but generally speaking, they're pretty mild, all things considered. I'm gonna take the flag down now. By the way, I'll show you guys how it's done, and then I'm gonna end the live stream. Sorry guys, it's been great having you in here, but I gotta go soon for dinner and stuff like that. But it was great having you guys in here. I hope to do one soon. As I've told you, I'm going tomorrow morning, leaving for Yosemite and for the Sierra Nevada mountains. Where I'm doing a trip out there, a backpacking trip. So I won't have access to post videos for about 2 weeks, which is more than I've ever gone. I try to post videos every day, but I will take lots of videos on my camera and then post them once I get back. So here we go. I want to pull very gently. I want to be careful what I do. So you see, this is how it's done. You pull that thing down, and that gets you like the slack rope, and then this, very easy to pull down here. Oh no, the flag is touching the ground. That is not supposed to happen. There's my California flag there. We're even with Moscow. Wow, you probably got similar winters to Moscow, Dave. That's crazy. Going to southern Italy for 3 weeks next week. Going to try to collect some palm seeds there. Whoa, southern Italy, man. I've been to parts of southern Italy once. That's one of the only places in Europe I've been, and it is gorgeous. That is just awesome, Will. That is awesome. I was in Italy in 2010, but only at the Rome airport. I see. I've been to Rome airport. It's nice. Going to Naples. Oh, I've been there. You know what? I don't know about you, but I'm sort of like a history lover, ancient history specifically. Go to people always go to Pompeii. I would say if you're going to Pompeii, go to Herculaneum instead. It's just as interesting as Pompeii, better preserved. They have actual preserved wooden roofs, which they do not have at Pompeii. And so many less crowds, and just as gorgeous in my opinion. It's a little smaller, certainly, but lots of preserved ruins. I love the Roman history. I don't know about you, Will. I bet there's lots of I don't know if there's Roman ruins in Austria. It's sort of like the border of the Roman Empire, but I love the ancient history, and you guys in Europe do have the advantage of ancient history, at least. Obviously, there's lots of ancient history here, but it's not until you really get to the southwest of the U.S., which I have videos on, where you get those ancient ruins, which I find very interesting. So, you have those cool ruins, like Roman ruins and stuff, which is, I mean, they're just super cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen out there, thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. I'm leaving tomorrow, as I told you. I'm gonna be able to post a video from the airplane, but that's about it. And then, so if you guys don't see videos for a couple weeks, you'll know why. I'll be traveling, so don't think I've died or anything. Hopefully not. There's a moat around our house. Oh God, Jacob. Yeah, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. I can only imagine South Texas. I know Florida's got like horrible mosquitoes in summer, and maybe even winter too. Yeah, the eastern shore of Maryland is the worst. I think Assateague Island out there. Oh God, that's terrible, Jacob. I'm sorry to hear that. I bet it's a beautiful area though, lots of palms. You know what? I would live there and brave the mosquitoes. I'm used to them here. I would totally live there for the palms because I much prefer that area to here. Amazing, gonna check it out. Awesome. Have a lot of Roman buildings. Oh. Carnuntum. That is so cool. You have Roman ruins. That's just incredible. I mean, you know, I'm sure, you know, people around there probably take it for granted, but here in the U.S., we have ancient ruins, but not as old as Roman ruins. That's just pretty cool. And look, I love the Native American ruins here, and I find them very fascinating. As you can see, you guys check out my videos on the ruins that I saw in the Southwest. But I love the Roman history especially, and I just find it very interesting. So I'm folding the flag right now. So yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna fold these flags. I'm gonna be lazy. Actually, no, I will fold it. I don't know how the California flag is supposed to be folded, because usually the flags, I know how to fold the U.S. flag, but here you go, folks. There's the California flag. West Laco, Texas. That's an interesting place. All right. Got my California flag folding. Anyways, guys, it was great to have you in there. Thanks for joining in. It was just so much fun. I love doing these live streams and meeting all you guys, meeting new people, talking to old people that I know. And 10% battery, okay. All right. Here she is right there. Oh, some stain on that flag. I need to clean this thing. I'm gonna read your guys' comments. Sorry, 1 second. Let me fold this really quickly. I'll be reading comments in just a second. All right, there we go. That's how the U.S. flag is sort of supposed to be folded. I didn't do a great job with it, but try to treat it with respect. All right, let's see this thing. That's so cool about the Roman ruins, Will. Glad I was able to sign in. See ya. Great to meet you, Will. Yeah, great to see you, White with Dreamy Eyes. Dave, thanks for joining in, and great as always to talk with you. And I'll check out your new video. I need to see that. All right, guys. Great to see you. There's tons of little toads as well, eating them. Oh, that's awesome. We could use some of those around here, by the way. Hopefully the rain's helping a little bit with the mosquito control. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Will. I will, and I'm going to Yosemite in that area, so it's supposed to be really gorgeous, backpacking for about 2 weeks. I think like 11 days, maybe. But yeah, really excited. Gonna send the link on Discord. Awesome, Will. I will check that out, and I'm super excited about that. And great to talk to all you guys. Thanks for joining in and signing out here in Montgomery County, Maryland. Let's get a shot of my take-heel here. My prize. All right, folks. Have a good one. Take care.